We're going to be changing the oil today. So we need this highly unusual specialized tool that the Toyota dealership said they had. I drove down there, they didn't. I had to order it on Amazon and wait 8 weeks for them to deliver it. We also need this strange, unusual size 27mm socket tool that goes on the outside of this one, like this. This is to remove the oil filter housing, which is a horrendous pain and leaks and spills all over the place. And they want to charge you $100 to change your oil, which is ridiculous. And this is the synthetic 0W20 high efficiency, low viscosity oil. That's my oil drain pan. We're gonna put a bunch of newspaper down. I got this from my mom. She subscribes to newspaper. She's 74. That's my oil catch can over there. We're gonna use that to collect the old used motor oil and take it to an auto parts store. Well, let's get this party started. To start with, we're going to take this big jack right here and jack up the car. Here's a torque wrench, an additional extension, and a screwdriver, and a crescent wrench. We're going to add that to the collection. The drain bolt, I've only loosened it. We're going to let it drain slowly here, and then I'll capture that drain bolt with a paper towel like this. And then the oil filter housing is right next to it. And that's that thing up there, right over here. And there goes the bolt, and so the oil, we're gonna have to fish it out of the tank now. The oil is coming out in a strange pattern now, but alas, we'll get all of it. You also need one of these. This is an element kit. This is the explanation. It tells you need a special tool to remove this jankety plastic housing. I've jacked the car up on the other side now, having found where oil door is, letting all the funky oil escape. Here I've captured the drain bolt and cleaned it with my paper towel. Get in here and put this bolt back in the drain hole. Then we're going to use the torque wrench to tighten it. Okay, so it's 27 foot-pounds. Is twist this until we get to 27 foot-pounds. There's 20 and 7, so it's 27 foot-pounds. This is the 14mm socket we're going to use to tighten the drain bolt. First we're going to pull the socket off and tighten it hand tight, then we're going to torque it down until the torque wrench clicks. Make sure it's nice and snug. Dirty motor oil is a carcinogen, so you don't want to get on your skin. Wear nitrile gloves. It smells weird. That weird smell is actually volatiles from the combustion that leak past the piston rings, especially when the engine is old, and end up depositing brown and black crap in your engine oil. This is why changing engine oil is so important. It keeps the bearings and everything, all the friction surfaces in the engine, nice and clean and lubricated. Drain the old motor oil into this gas can here. Seems like a lot more than 4 quarts. I better double check the capacity. Oil recycling is eco-friendly. That's why we're saving this. You can take it to your local auto parts store. They have a big jug in the back where you can save up your motor oil in an old can like this and take the can down to the auto parts store and recycle your motor oil. That's the oil filler. Right, unscrew that. Priuses are kind of weird. The oil filler is way up near the dashboard, so I have a special funnel. This is the 3D printed funnel right here. I'm not sure who the design was from, but thank you. I printed that on an old printer I had to get rid of. It malfunctioned after 25 days. We're going to set this up here like this. It allows you to fill the oil without interfering with the upper cowlings. Add 300 more for a total of 4,300 milliliters or 4.3 liters. It holds 4.4, but since I didn't get the filter housing out on filter, we're going to assume that it contains about 100 mils of oil. Now we got to check the dipstick. We're going to take out the engine oil dipstick like this. We're going to examine it. We're going to wipe it off. Okay, you see those 2 dots? That's the overly full and too low point on the dipstick filler. We're going to put that back, and then we're going to carefully insert that, and then we're going to remove it again. And this time we're going to look at that and make sure we've got enough oil, and indeed we do. Okay guys, this is what you're looking at here. This is the oil filter in the plastic oil filter housing and the special adapter tool that's required. That's a 3/8 connection on there. When this thing is installed in the engine, it is so hard to remove, I had to resort to using that. That's an impact wrench. Yeah, I had to set up my air compressor. Then, to make matters worse, as soon as you unscrew this thing from the housing, let me show you. The housing is mounted sideways right there. And as soon as you start unscrewing it, oil starts pouring out. Like 6, 7, 8 ounces of oil still dripping off. So make sure, put an oil pan under there. Instead of using a normal canister cartridge, Toyota has chosen to use this cartridge here. This is the cartridge. Now, when you open this cartridge, you'll notice they include an O-ring. This O-ring has to be installed on the housing down here. You have to change the O-ring every time using a pick tool, and careful not to mar the plastic because it's a plastic housing. I actually bought a new one just in case I damaged this one. There's the old one, there's the new one. So you can tell that one's dirty, this one's clean, and on the upside it is eco-friendly because this is the only part you have to change. There's no metal canister. It's just this one. Props to Toyota for reducing waste, but man, this is like 10 times harder and much messier than the canister style oil filter that they used on the previous gen. This is for the 3rd gen Toyota Prius. I know they've been doing it on other vehicles like the Toyota Tacoma and the Tundra. This is a Volkswagen maneuver. Volkswagen does this same crap. I just wanted to call out the manufacturer for making the one service that you're required to do regularly super challenging. Also to note, there's a retainer clip. This hole, that's for that retainer clip. So after you screw the housing in, that plastic housing, you need to put that clip back. That's to keep it from coming undone. When you extract the old filter, you just wiggle it out. You're gonna pull it out like that. Set it in a funnel like this at an angle on top of an oil recycling container, and that'll allow gravity to extract all of the motor oil that might be remaining to drip out of the filter. It takes a while. So that's what it's supposed to look like now. You're gonna snug that down. 17 foot-pounds is the specification, and make sure to reinstall the safety clip. You'll feel it when the O-ring starts squeaking. Just put a little thin film of oil on there. That'll help it slide in. I used a small torque wrench, but yeah, no more than 17 foot-pounds per the manual. It was obviously on there, tightened on with some kind of tool, and took an extraordinary amount of impact wrench hammering to get it back off, but incredibly the plastic housing did not break, so 2 thumbs up to Toyota for making it out of some kind of really tough plastic. Thanks again for watching. Cheers, guys.